Hey guys, it's Chillstuff MK Freaks again on another Pokemon Go video. Now first of all, thank you so much for all the lovely comments, likes and subscribes that you guys have given us thanks to the last two Pokemon Go videos. Now, if you haven't already, please do check out some of our other content with Rainbow Six Siege, GTA, Minecraft, etc. We do our Freaky Friends playlist as well. They're awesome videos. Some of them are really funny. So make sure you check them out, see if that's your kind of thing as well. Now, anyway, bringing me back to what I'm doing today for you, I'm going to do a quick list of 10 tips, tricks for the game, or things that you may not know about Pokemon Go, which will help you on your adventures. Now, I've only recently had a chance to actually finally get out there and really give the game a good go. Did 25 kilometers the other day with my mate on from like 9 p.m. till 5 a.m., and it was really fun. So I've found a few things that I didn't know about the game that I think I should share with you guys. So first of all, just so you can see the screen whilst I'm talking, I'm going to put my GoPro on so you can see what I'm doing now. So here we are, guys. Here's the Pokemon screen down below. This is my, well, I'm kind of showing where I live here, but hopefully you don't recognise it. So the first tip I'm going to bring you is actually just in the menus. So first of all, as I'm sure you know, if you click the Pokemon ball and go to Pokemon, you can see your Pokemon. Now, what I didn't realise at first is down to the bottom right here, you have this little button with a little clock in it. And what that is, when I first clicked that, I thought that was kind of like an index telling you that the hashtag means the number, the hearts mean HP, CP means power, things like that. I thought that was just like an index. What I didn't realise, and I realised you can now do, is that's how you can actually sort your Pokemon in your menus. So, for example, if you click it by CP, your Pokemon are then arranged by their CP. So, for example, my best one's 694 at the moment. And obviously, if you wanted to do it by favourites, you can do it by that. And you can make a Pokemon your favourite by clicking on it and clicking top right. So, it means that you can organise your Pokemon a lot better. And when you start catching loads, that'll really help with organisation. So, tip number 2 is quite a small one. Some people might not care for this, but I actually really like it. That's when you go to your eggs and you have them in your incubators. Now, as you can see how long I've got left to walk. I've walked 2.2 on that one, 4 on that one, 1.9 on that one. What I didn't realise until I tried it was if you actually click the incubator, it will... Oh, well, that one actually doesn't work because I'm precisely on 4. But when you... Oh, that one's 1.9. There we go, that's one. When you click it, it gives you an even precise view. So it's actually 2.2.3 out of 5 kilometres. So it's good to see like precisely how far you need to go, just in case you need to perfectly time that walk to get your egg hatched. Little insignificant one there, but I thought you might like to know. So the third tip I'm going to bring you on to is actually into the game. Now, there's been a lot of confusion when it comes to actually trying to catch Pokemon of what the grass means. Now, hopefully, as I'm scrolling around here, we're going to see some grass somewhere. I'm hoping to be able to test it. But if you know what I'm talking about, it's basically occasionally on the screen you will see little grass leaves pop up somewhere in the near area. Now, originally, what most people thought that meant was that if you saw the grass patches, it meant you had that was where a Pokemon was, and that if you went there, you'd get a Pokemon. That is not the case. It's very much like the original Pokemon game. Where those leaves are spawning, that's technically long grass. So when you're in that vicinity of the leaves, there is a high chance of a Pokemon spawning there. But that doesn't mean there's definitely a Pokemon there. So just because you go there doesn't mean you're necessarily going to find a Pokemon, but it's worth going to these areas where there's leaves. Ah, there's some over there. I'm not sure if you saw them. Right over there in distance. I wonder if I can zoom in. Might be able to see them over there. But yeah, so it basically means that if you go there, you've got a high chance of actually finding a Pokemon. So it's well worth doing it. Okay, so my next tip is about tracking Pokemon. So at the bottom right here, you can see that if I click that, you can see all the Pokemon nearby. I've got 3 Rattatas and a Drowsy nearby. Now, I'm sure many of you have already figured out it's quite simple to think that the little 3 footsteps is how far away they are from you. When it gets to 2, it means they're closer, and when it gets to 1, it means they're closer. In regards to how far the actual distance is, unfortunately, some people say it's about 200 meters, some people say it's about 300 feet. It's like how long's a piece of string. Essentially, 3 is far away, 2 is medium, 1 is close. Let's leave it at that. Now, but one interesting thing is when you actually click a Pokemon specifically. So I've just clicked Drowsy. Now, bottom right, Drowsy is selected rather than where you see all three. And you can unselect by clicking them again. But if you have one singled out, you have a higher chance of actually finding that Pokemon. So if you wanted to find this Drowsy now, you would select that Drowsy and have it singled, and then you'd walk to any grass areas that you've seen popping up. Sorry, not grass areas, you know, the little leaves popping up. You'd want to walk to those areas, and you have a high chance then of that Drowsy spawning. Now, obviously, it is bugged a little bit at the moment that these 3 little feet, they don't actually go to 2 feet and 1 feet. There's a bug where at the moment it all just stays 3 feet. But like I said, all you need to do is select it and then go to the grassy area and just hang around there for a little bit. Because one other thing I've been told is when you see top left, I mean, I'm not sure if you've seen it whilst I've been playing, but sometimes just up here, you get a little Pokeball spinning. That's a loading screen. That means that the game is loading. If the game is loading, sometimes it can tell you a Pokemon's nearby, but it hasn't loaded yet. So sometimes it's best to hang around in those grassy areas, maybe stand there for 30 seconds to a minute, and the Pokemon may then spawn. Okay, so what I'm going to talk about next, guys, is Lore and Incense. Now, these things are overpowered. I'm going to go through what they are and how to use them best. But as they are overpowered, use them. It gets you so many Pokemon and some great Pokemon too. So, first of all, you can find your Incense and Lores in your items. Now, unfortunately, I haven't got any Incense in my item to show you now, but it kind of looks like a little green and white Pokeball with like a little stick coming out. It looks, well, like Incense is in real life. Now, what Incense does when you activate it, I don't need to show you the screen for this, but when you activate your Incense, oh, that knocking my mic, you get a 30-minute timer where you get a little pink band around your character, and basically that attracts Pokemon to you. So you can use this on the move, so put an Incense on, go for a long walk, and you'll find that a lot more Pokemon spawn because they are looking for you, so they will come to you. So that's a great tool to use. Now, they're not cheap. You have to buy them with Poke Coins or occasionally get them when you level up. I haven't seen people ever get them at Pokestops, so they seem to be quite rare. So when you do get one, make sure you use it for the entire half an hour. Don't just pop one for a 10-minute walk because it's a waste. Now, when it comes to Lores, right, so I'll show you back on the screen now. So Lores, once again, in your items are... Oh, I don't have one in my items at the moment yet. But basically, they look like a little red... like computer disk, almost, like a floppy disk. Now, essentially, what you do with them is when you go to a Pokestop, so if I see a Pokestop over there, now, this little bar up here, now you'll only see this little bar once you've unlocked Lores at level 12, I believe it is, level 10, when you get your first one. But what you can do is you can click that, and that's an empty module slot. And if you have a Lore at the time, you can then click it, and you activate the Lore on that Pokestop. Now, what that is essentially an Incense for a Pokestop. So, around that Pokestop, it will attract Pokemon. So you could then sit down at that Pokestop for half an hour, and Pokemon will come to you. Now, you might say, well, why don't you just use the Incense then? Because you can then walk on the move. Well, me and my friends have found a great tactic here. Between us, we had 4 Lores. So we had 4 of the things you can put on Pokestops. And we found a location that had 4 Pokestops so close together that you could sit in one spot and get all 4 Pokestops. We then put 4 Lores on the 4 Pokestops and sat in the middle, and essentially we had so many Pokemon we couldn't even keep up with it all. Because 4 Pokestops all getting Pokemon attracted to them. They were popping up left, right, and centre. And these weren't just uncommon Pokemon. We got some rare Pokemon, or not rare, but uncommon Pokemon that we weren't expecting to get. So if you have friends with Lores, go find yourself in your area a little spot where you've got 2 or 3 Pokestops really close together and put Lores on them, and you're going to be absolutely laughing. We sat there for 2 hours and got so many Pokemon, it's ridiculous. Okay, so the next tip I want to talk about, if I get my phone back out, is some of the settings. Now, I think a lot of you have already figured this out, but for people that haven't, pay attention to this. The next one I'm going to show you is battery saver mode. So, if you once you're on your main screen, you click your Pokeball, go up to settings, and in that, you should see a battery saver mode, and you want to tick that. Essentially, what that does... no, I don't want to sign out. What that means is that to save battery, when you're walking around, if you put your phone in your pocket, so it'll be upside down, but don't lock your screen, the screen will go dark, and I'm not sure if you can see that, but the Pokemon Go symbol is still there. That's because the app is still open and still running, but it's turned your screen off. So, for example, if your phone was in your pocket there and then you flipped it back up, it's back on. Now, that means you save battery, and supposedly when you're in the low power mode, when a Pokemon arrives, your phone will vibrate, or if you've got it on loudspeaker, it will make a little noise to say that the Pokemon's arrived, and then you can get your phone back out and capture the Pokemon. Put your phone back in your pocket, sorted. And that means that you can cycle on your bike, or you can walk and do other things. Like, you don't have to hold your phone constantly, and you'll be able to find Pokemon and also save power. Now, one thing I should say about this low power mode is I've noticed it does cause another glitch, where if I've had it on low power mode and it's been in my pocket with the screen off, a lot of the time I'll open it back up and my game will be frozen, as in my person's not walking and I can't do it, and I have to actually completely refresh the game to get it working again. So that's a little bit annoying, but you guys can all try it, see what you think. But the battery saver mode is still definitely something you should try, because it does help if you're going on a long journey and don't have like a portable charger or something to help you. Okay guys, so the next tip I want to show you guys is using lucky eggs to boost your XP. So, for example, I want to show you lucky eggs, what they are, in your items. You got one there. So, lucky egg that's filled with happiness earns double XP for 30 minutes. Now, you get one of these when you level up, once again, around the like 10, 11, 12 mark, you get your first one. And you do tend to get them occasionally when you level up. I'm not sure if you can get them from Pokestops. If you can, please let me know. And I believe you can also buy them in the Poke Shop. Now, as it states, you get double XP for 30 minutes. So, it's good to use. But, here's a top tip to gain a lot of XP and a lot of levels. Now, the most XP you get is when you evolve a Pokemon. When you evolve a Pokemon, you get 500 XP, which is loads, which with double XP is 1,000. Hey, simple math for you there. Now, what you should do is, I'm sure in your area, wherever you live, there's generically a couple of Pokemon that you know spawn all the time. For example, where I am, it's Weedles and Rattatas. They spawn all the time. Now, even if you've already got a really good Rattata or a really good Weedle, and you've already evolved it, whatever, still catch all of them. Because not only do you get experience and Stardust anyway, but you also then get more candies. Then what you can do is, for weak Pokemon like Rattata and Weedle, their first evolution is only 12 candies, which are quite easy to get when you're catching shitloads of them. So then what you do is get loads of Rattatas and Weedles, or whatever your common Pokemon is, and make sure you've got loads of candies for them. Then pop a lucky egg and spend all those candies that you've got from catching them all, and just evolve them all that once using the 12 candies. Because if you evolve like 5 to 10 Pokemon within that half an hour, you get shitloads of XP and will go up at least a level or two. So it takes a little while to save up ready for them. But if you've got a lucky egg, don't use it until you've got an opportunity to level up all those Pokemon, because like I said, you get loads of XP. Okay guys, and for the last 3 tips I've got, I'm actually going to need to go outside that way to show you, just so I can actually give you a real feel for what I'm talking about. So let's go outside. Hey guys, so now I'm outside in the lovely wilderness trying to look for Pokemon. So first of all, I want to apologise because obviously the sound is going to be a little bit worse now, on top of the fact that because for once it is a sunny day in England, that may also cause you to not be able to see the screen perfectly. But like I said, it's just a few more tips that I wanted to show you that are going to be out on the move. But the first thing I need to do is actually find a Pokemon to be able to show you my next few tips. So I'm just going to have a quick little stroll and see what I can find for you. Okay guys, so it didn't actually take me long, but I found this Weedle over here, so let's start a fight with him. So my next tip I'm going to show you is how to turn the augmented reality off. Now as you can see here, this little Weedle is sitting here on the pathway in front of me where I'm walking, and I can catch him. Now I appreciate at first it's quite cool seeing that they're like where you are, like maybe if you catch a Pokemon, maybe in your toilet or on your work desk or something funny like that. But in all honesty, augmented reality drains your power and also can cause the Pokeball glitch. So, top right, up here, if you click augmented reality off, it will then just naturally spawn Weedle in a grassy land, and you can attempt to try and catch him. And I think I'm about to now. Now, the benefits of turning augmented reality off, as stated, you get more battery life because you're not using your camera and it's not having to work as hard. You also are less likely to get the Pokeball glitch. I think that it was just augmented reality was kind of screwing it up a bit. And last of all, it's actually a lot easier to catch the Pokemon because, as you may have noticed there, as soon as I turn augmented reality off, I could actually start walking again, because when you're not in augmented reality, moving doesn't affect the screen, so you can just walk and try and catch them. So that's definitely my top tip there, is turn augmented reality off. Okay guys, so my next top tip is using raspberries. So I'm just going to click on this Eevee now to try and catch it. Now essentially, raspberries are what you throw at Pokemon to attempt to make them easier to catch. Now there are a few catches with this, but I'll show you. So when you're fighting a Pokemon, you click the bag button and click raspberry, and you can throw it at the Pokemon. Now this will mean for the next Pokemon for the next Pokeball you try and throw, it will give you a higher chance to catch it. So let's see if I can throw it now. Whoop. Hopefully this will catch it. Now I should say, if you miss that Pokeball, or if they get out, it will mean the raspberry is there. So I'm actually have to use another raspberry now if I want to try again. Now I'd recommend using these on any Pokemon that you actually really want to catch, because there's nothing worse than trying to catch a Pokemon and managing to run away. So let's see if we catch it this time. Nope, okay, I really don't want this bugger to run away, so I'm going to try for another one. But essentially, you do get loads of these, and you get, I think, 40 when you first... see, so when I throw a Pokeball now, that means that raspberry is now worn off. So this next throw actually won't give me that raspberry help. Okay guys, so my last tip today is going to be about gyms. I'm just going to quickly run through what to do at them, and generally when you can start playing them. Now you can play gyms from the level 5. Now straight away I'm going to notice when you look at a gym here, you have to get close enough to it to actually fight it, but you can actually view them from far away. Now when you actually look at a gym, I'm sure a lot of you have found that when you look at it, you'll find that the Pokemon that are in the gym, mine isn't loading here, but you can see 590, 591 and 1108. They're very high powered, and unless you've played the game for a long time, you're not going to have many Pokemon that can beat that. So you're going to turn around and go, oh, what's the point? But I am going to state, even if you fight a Pokemon gym and lose, you still take off some of their XP. You can see here they're currently at 6,000 out of 8,000. When you take down their XP, even if you lose the fight, because you've attacked them and done some damage to them, that will reduce their XP. And when you reduce their XP, they will go down to level 2 and then to level 1. And when you get to level 1 and then beat them, you can then take over the gym yourself. So even if you can't beat the gym, if you can at least take down the gym, like take down some of the XP, it means the next person that comes along for your faction can then actually take it down. So even if you can't completely destroy them, still have a go attacking them, because you gain XP and you can help wind them down. So anyway guys, that's my top 10 tips for today on Pokemon Go. Now I've actually managed to give it a go. Please leave your comments down below in regards to whether these tips have been useful for you. I appreciate you may have already known some of them you may not have. This video has mainly been targeted at people that are now less than level 10, because if you're over level 10, you've probably figured them out like myself. If you've got any other tips that I haven't mentioned that you think that people should be aware of, once again, comment down below. If this helped you, leave a like, and if you want more videos like this, please subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching, guys. It's been Chill Stuff from MK Freaks.